The Sephora Holiday Savings Event starts on Friday, October 27th. So I wanted to sit down and share some of my top Sephora recommendations with you. Whenever there is a sale, I like to just kind of update you on high-end makeup products I truly think are worth the money. Whether you're looking to shop the sale right now and get a little bit of a discount, or you want to purchase them later on, these are things that I just consistently go back to. I also have a couple of newer products that I really enjoy as well. So I basically chose like one, sometimes two products in every category to share with you in today's video. And I just get excited when I get to share like true staples. Like I reach for these products every single week. A lot of them I've been using on a daily basis as well. So I'm excited to jump into it and talk about them. I do want to say thank you to Iris for sponsoring today's video and partnering with me to share an amazing giveaway, which I'll talk about in just a second. But Iris is a brand new beauty app I've really been loving. It's such a fun place where you can go to find and share authentic beauty reviews. And I know that's what all of us are looking for when it comes to a review. We want to hear someone's true experience with a beauty product. And with Iris, you can share, but also discover different beauty routines to see how people are incorporating different products into their life. So I've done a couple of different routines. I just created one with my Sephora sale recommendations. So I'll link it in the description box below. If you head over, you can check out all of my recommendations in one place, a review on everything, a link if you want to purchase it, or you can always have the option to add it to a list of products you want to try as well. As a creator, I love Iris because it just helps me organize all of my recommendations into one place. You can click on my profile and see a list of all of my top holy grails, other products I reviewed, and even things that I personally want to try. And you can also do that on your own profile as well. Like I said earlier, I'm so excited to be partnering with Iris for an amazing giveaway. All you have to do to enter is download the Iris app. I'll put a link in the description box below and create your own routine. It's really easy to create a routine. You just click the button and you type in your title, your description, and then you add products to your routine. Once you've done that, just fill out the Google form in my description box so they can contact you if you win, and that's it. 3 winners will win gift cards to Sephora to purchase products on your wish list or things that you want to try. First place will win a $200 gift card, and then second and third place will win $100 gift cards. This is open to the US and Canada only, but if you are one of my international subscribers, I will have other giveaways coming during this holiday season. So like I said, everything will be in the description box below, the giveaway details, a link to download Iris, and then also a link to my routine featuring all of my Sephora recommendations in one place. So let's jump into it and I'll share them with you. Okay, let's start with some complexion products. So a newer launch that I definitely wanted to recommend is the Tower 28 Serum Concealer. I honestly did not expect to like this as much as I do. Typically when I hear the word serum associated with a concealer, I automatically think that it's not going to have enough coverage and that it's going to crease like crazy because a serum texture is sometimes a little bit too thin for me when it comes to complexion products. And I like this one because it is very thin. It blends out very, very easily, but it's also incredibly hydrating. And I do deal with a little bit of dryness on my skin during the fall and the winter especially. And sometimes a concealer that's a little more mattifying or even more of like a natural satin finish concealer just enhances dryness or texture or even fine lines. This formula looks so good on the skin, and once I set it into place with powder, it does not move all day long. Like I was even wearing this on hot days as like the summer was coming to an end, and then, you know, the beginning of fall, we had some hot days and it still looked really good. So I'm so impressed by this one. I highly recommend it. Another concealer that I love that I was actually using, like I was only really using this one until I tried Tower 28, is this one from Natasha Denona. I repurchased it. I just opened my brand new one. This is the Hy-Glam concealer. Now the textures are very, very different. The Tower 28 one is much thinner. This one's a little bit thicker. It's almost like a cream formula. So again, a little bit goes a long way. It doesn't feel heavy on the skin, but it definitely feels a little bit heavier than Tower 28. But this one has more coverage. It definitely has a little bit more of a smoothing property to it. It is a very moisturizing formula too. And again, once I set it into place, it does last all day long. I would say if I was comparing the two of them, Tower 28 is slightly more hydrating. Natasha Denona is slightly more smoothing and it has a little bit more coverage. I love using the Natasha Denona one in place of foundation because I'll just apply a little bit all over my face where I have a breakout or redness and blend it in, and it looks so good. I'm really holding out hope that they're going to launch like a foundation version of this. So I love them both just for slightly different reasons, but these are the two that I've been wearing nonstop. For foundation, I did want to recommend the new Glossier Stretch Fluid Foundation. I kind of bought this on a whim. I was in a Sephora store. It had pretty much just launched, so the display was out. It looked really beautiful, and I swatched it, and I was kind of surprised by the texture of it because I thought it was going to be almost more like a serum type texture based on the description I had read online, but it's a little bit of a thicker foundation. I would say it's almost like a gel cream, but a little bit thicker than that. When you apply it to the skin, it blends in really nicely. You can definitely use your fingers or a brush. I like this because it does have more of like a light to medium coverage finish, and a lot of my foundations are full coverage because that is sometimes what I'm a fan of. It's definitely what I was a fan of for the last few years. And these days, I do reach for something a little lighter a couple of times a week, maybe even like a skin tint or just a concealer. But when I want to wear an actual foundation that doesn't have more of a full coverage finish, this is perfect. It looks a little bit more natural on the skin. I think that it wears well. It's not the most smoothing foundation I've ever tried, and typically that's what I go for. But if I do pair it with a really smoothing primer, it does make a difference. I just think the coverage is nice, the finish is really pretty, and it looks like skin. Like it doesn't look like a heavy foundation when I wear it. Also, the shade match is pretty spot on, which does make a difference when it comes to complexion products. I have the shade light too, and it's a perfect match for me. A primer that I do like to wear it with is the Caliray So Blown Clean Blurring Primer. I've loved this ever since it launched. And I haven't had a ton of luck with Caliray as a whole, but this is one of my all-time favorite primers. It has like a very nice moisturizing feel to it, but it gives your skin this beautiful blurred soft matte finish. So when you apply foundation on top, the foundation just looks so good, even if it is a formula that doesn't typically look incredibly smooth like the Glossier one. I also find that this product really does extend the wear of my foundation, which a lot of primers claim to do, but they don't always do that. And sometimes when I want a primer that really locks my foundation into place, I'll end up reaching for something like the e.l.f. Power Grip, which is a little bit sticky, and sometimes I just don't want that feel. So if I want my foundation to last, but I want more of a smooth feel and a smooth finish, this is what I reach for. It's amazing, and I've had this for a while and I wear it all the time, and I still have like quite a bit in here, so I feel like this will last a long time. I think I just saw a kit on Sephora's website fairly recently where they had the primer and then also, I want to say like the Caliray setting spray available as a duo if you're interested in both. I haven't tried the setting spray, so I can't speak to that, but the primer is really good. Okay, finishing up the complexion products with two powders. I have to mention, which one should I start with? Okay, let's start with the one that I haven't talked about quite as much. This one is the One Size by Patrick Starrr Translucent Powder. So this is the type of powder I reach for when I want my makeup to last all day. I started using this when it was pretty hot outside, so I felt like it really was an ideal option during the summertime when it was hot and humid and my skin was a little bit more oily. I think as we head into the colder weather, I'll probably reach for the other formula a little bit more, but if you reach, or if you tend to reach for or want like a super matte powder that also has like a nice smooth look to it, this is perfect. This feels a little bit heavier on the skin than the next powder I'm going to recommend. Let me just share it so I can kind of like talk back and forth about the two. This one is the Colé Skin Melt Loose Powder. I've talked about this a good amount on my channel, but I was just shocked by how much I liked it because for years I've been looking for like a powder that gives me the same smooth finish that the Too Faced Peach Powder did. I think that this one from Colé actually looks better on the skin. It is so smoothing, incredibly blurring, but it's so lightweight. Like it doesn't feel like you're wearing powder. It doesn't look like you're wearing powder. So if you have extremely oily skin, this might not be the most ideal option because it is so light. Like comparing the two powders, this one feels heavier on the skin, but it also makes my makeup last longer. My skin doesn't get oily as quickly, but this one looks very smooth and it's lightweight. Like it doesn't feel heavy. So I'll reach for this one when I'm wearing cream products or when I just don't necessarily need like a full-on 12-hour wear out of my makeup that day. Okay, let's talk about eye products. So I have two palette recommendations to share with you in today's video. The first one probably won't be much of a surprise if you've watched my videos over the last few months because I cannot stop wearing the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. I have not loved a palette this much since Natasha Denona launched the bronze palette. And at that point in time, like the bronze palette was my perfect palette because I loved those orangey reds and the golds and the coppers. And I do still enjoy that one, but this one definitely fits like my current makeup style more. This looks so pretty on the eyes. Like every time I'm wearing this palette in a video, which has been most of my videos since I purchased it, I always get questions like, what are you wearing? Or I'll get comments that say like, that has to be the I Need a Nude palette. And honestly, I've been able to get more looks out of this than I originally thought. At first, I thought a lot of the looks ended up looking very, very similar. similar, and they do to some extent, but there are ways to kind of create a little bit of variation. And by variation, I mean like a lighter, softer, more natural look, or more of like a medium toned, sparkly, smoky eye. Nothing too colorful or over the top, obviously, but what I love about this palette is just the fact that it has these gorgeous wet looking shimmers. And my favorite way to do my makeup these days is typically like a neutral, sparkly, wet looking eyeshadow look. I'm actually not wearing it today. I'm wearing the ColourPop That's Taupe palette, and then I have a couple of shades from the Natasha Denona Retro Glam palette. But I just think she does such an amazing job with her shimmers, with her metallics, and I'm not going to sit here and say that this is a groundbreaking palette by any means. I mean, it is a neutral palette, but I think if you do wear neutrals and you love a wet looking shimmer, you'll appreciate this because it makes every eye look really special, even if it is like a day where I'm just running errands, I'm not doing anything too, crazy. It's fun to break this out because I don't know, the sparkly eyeshadow makes me happy. I always like how it looks. So definitely recommend this if you've been considering it. It's nice to be able to get a discount on it. The other palette that I want to recommend is one that I haven't worn quite as much, but I feel like it does add a unique aspect to my makeup collection that I haven't had before. And it's also from Natasha Denona. It is the Yucca palette. I think that this is such a stunning palette, and you're going to look at it and you're either going to love it or hate it. I should have used this one today. I feel like this would have gone with my shirt. The metallics and the shimmers in here are so stunning, like some of the prettiest metallics I've ever tried, and the matte shadows are just different. I don't have anything like this in my makeup collection, but I still like these tones. Like if you're not into green eyeshadow or almost like mustard looking yellows and oranges, like this probably won't be for you. But if you're someone who does like to wear those colors and you don't have a lot of those shades, I think you'll enjoy this. It's definitely not for everyone, but if these colors do jump out at you, if you want something a little more interesting with also just some beautiful, intense, rich metallics, this is totally worth it in my opinion. Okay, I wanted to talk about this product. I never thought that I would recommend a high-end lash primer because there are drugstore alternatives that work really well. And even as I'm recommending this, like you do not have to spend a lot of money on a high-end lash primer. But this is the first more expensive lash primer that has made an amazing difference for me. It is the Too Faced Better Than Sex Foreplay Mascara Primer. Again, this is a product that I really did not expect to like. I didn't expect it to make a difference, but I got it in the mail as PR, so I was like, I'll try it out, and it shocked me because this makes such a difference. First of all, if you have very straight lashes like me and you don't like to curl them or they don't hold a curl, this is going to make a difference for you because this actually lifts and holds the lashes into place. And I do not like using an eyelash curler. I really won't ever do it. So this is kind of a nice step because instead of doing that, I can just swipe this on, and not only are my lashes curled and lifted, it also makes a difference in the way my mascara applies. It makes it so that you can use a lot less mascara. Like instead of really building it up over and over, I just have to really go in with one coat. And the mascara is just intensified. Like my lashes look even thicker, they look longer, it stays in place so well. That's the thing about this. If you have a lot of issues with wear time, this is going to make a difference. It's almost hard to remove at the end of the night. Like you definitely want to use an actual waterproof eye makeup remover or like an oil-based cleanser, like a cleansing balm that's very, very effective because this locks your mascara into place so well. So it enhances your lashes, it really enhances any mascara that you put on top of it, and it locks that mascara into place. Like it is not going anywhere. It is a little bit expensive for a lash primer because like I said, there are drugstore alternatives, but this is without a doubt like the best lash primer I've ever tried. So I do recommend the Tower 28 Make Waves mascara as well, whether you want to use it with the lash primer or on its own. It's my favorite. It does such a good job lifting the lashes, adding a ton of volume. It does lengthen them, but it's not quite as lengthening as other formulas I've tried, but you really get like that open, lifted, curled look. So I've repurchased this like 3 or 4 times at this point, and I will continue to do so. And I got the brown one, so I can't wait to try that one too. Okay, for eyeliner, I do want to recommend this product, but part of me is like, should I recommend it? Because it does have some cons, but it is truly the most long-lasting, waterproof, dramatic liquid liner I've ever tried. It's from Fenty. It is their, what is this called? Fly liner. So I love it for that reason because once it's on, it stays in place so well. It is not going anywhere. But when you initially apply this product, it does bleed a little bit. I'll show you with like a swatch on the back of my hand, and it kind of starts to spread out. So I feel like if you're doing your eye makeup, like it's very easy to mess it up with this product because once it starts spreading and getting everywhere, it's kind of hard to clean up because it doesn't move. If you do have a steady hand though, I feel like it can be avoided if you just go in slowly because it is so dark and dramatic. I feel like you have to be very, very careful with it. So I don't think this is going to be for everyone, but once it is on there, like it will not move. It stays in place so well, and it truly is the most waterproof formula I've tried. It's just a little bit more difficult to use than other formulas that might be a little more subtle. But I feel like if longevity is what you're looking for, like if you want the most waterproof formula, this is the one to try. Okay, for lips, I actually only have one product recommendation. When I was like making my list, I put like a question mark in the lip product category in case I wanted to go through and add additional ones. But honestly, like this is my top product right now. I've been wearing this one nonstop, and I didn't want to include products just for the sake of including them. So right now I wanted to recommend the Milk Makeup Odyssey Lip Gloss Oil, or Lip Oil Gloss, and I have the shade Quest. I'm wearing this today. I do have a lip liner underneath, the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade Cool BFF. But I know I've talked about this a lot recently. It is so stunning. It's a beautiful, creamy lip oil that kind of feels and looks like a gloss. It has a good amount of pigment to it. Like one initial layer is sheer, but you can also build it up to some extent. And I just love it. I think the shade is perfect for the fall, great for the winter. I do want to grab another color during the sale, but I love this because it's cushiony, it is moisturizing, it does last pretty well for more of an oily type gloss, and I feel like it's a little bit thicker than other lip oil lip gloss combos. It really does hug the lips. It has like a nice subtle vanilla scent. The applicator is great. I don't have anything bad to say about this, so I do want to grab another shade during the sale. So for cheeks, none of these are new. These are just like tried and true staples that I either reach for all year or specifically more so during like the fall and the winter. So the Merit blushes are beautiful. They do have a set right now, which might be more ideal if you do want like 3 minis, because then you get the chance to try out multiple shades instead of just sticking with one full-size blush. But I have 2 that I'll swatch for you. I have Cheeky and then also Raspberry Beret. I really like Merit cheek products because they're a little bit sheer, so it doesn't really look like you're wearing a ton of product on the skin. And I don't know, I go through these phases where I want like a lot of blush and then I barely want any. And right now I'm not really into blush. I'm not actually wearing blush right now. I'm wearing the Flower Beauty Heat Wave Luminous Bronzer that kind of has like a little bit of a rosy tone to it. But when I do wear blush, like these days, I want something very, very subtle. So these are nice because they can be built up to look a little more intense on the skin, but they can also be sheared out to look really natural too. And you can wear them on your lips and your cheeks for like that monochromatic vibe. I just think they're so nice for the fall. Like the 2 shades I have specifically, I love during this time of the year because they give you that, you know, cold girl makeup look that was popular last year, but just that look where you've been outside and your skin is like naturally a little bit more rosy because you're kind of cold. So I enjoy these a lot. I do recommend them. On the other hand, if pigment is the direction that you're going in, LYS Beauty is the brand to go to because their blushes and their bronzers are so beautifully pigmented. This is the No Limits Cream Bronzer. I think they call it their contour stick. I have the shade Motivate. I love this product. It is so creamy, so moisturizing. So it's great if you have dry skin. It's so nice for the fall and the winter, but it's also richly pigmented. So you honestly need the tiniest amount. But even though it is so pigmented, it blends out in seconds. Like it is my camera cut me off while I was raving about this, but it really is the best cream bronzer because it's so creamy, so pigmented, so beautiful, so long lasting. Like I don't have anything bad to say about this. It is stunning. So if you want pigment, definitely check out LYS as a whole, but I love their bronzer stick. The last cheek product I do recommend trying during the sale would be the Rare Beauty. Mine shattered just a little bit, but like these are so, okay, I'm not even gonna try to hold that one up. These are so soft. They break so easily. Like I literally took it from where I do my makeup and set it in a tray, and then I just opened it and it's broken. Please don't let this one be broken. This one is my favorite. Okay, this one is Exhilarate. It's weird because I've traveled with these. Like I've actually thrown them in my makeup bag and flown with them and done like a road trip with them, and they were fine. So I don't know, they're just so fragile. I think it's because they're so thin, and the formula is gorgeous, but I also broke like the pearly one I have too. Like that one shattered everywhere. This one, there's just like a tiny piece, but just be careful with these. Anyway, this formula is beautiful. They really do have like a glass-like effect on the skin. They're really like the main highlighter I reach for these days. Other than the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter, I've been wearing that one a ton because that one's very natural. These are a lot more intense. But if I want like that beautiful glass-like sheen, I always reach for these. I'll also wear them on the eyes as eyeshadow. In the inner corner, I actually have like that lightest shade in the inner corner today because even though it's shattered, there's like a tiny bit left in the pan. So these are gorgeous. I do recommend them. I just hate that they are so sensitive. Like you have to be really, really gentle. Back in September, I did purchase the Colé pistachio fragrance and it smells so good. And I feel like this one has a strong scent. Like you don't need a lot of it, but it is so warm and cozy. It's perfect for this time of the year. It just has like the best sweet vanilla, warm, cozy fragrance to it. And I love it so much. I said in a different video, like I used to work at an ice cream shop all throughout like high school and college. And that's what this smell reminds me of. So it's a little bit nostalgic, but I just think it's so cozy, so good for this time of the year. For skincare, I always have a hard time narrowing it down because there are so many skincare products I love, but I wanted to talk about two that I've been using very consistently. The first one is from Skin Fix. I've actually been trying a few of their products lately. Like last year I purchased one or two, and then this year I purchased one or two, and I feel like they are great if you have sensitive skin. This one is the Triple Lipid Boost 360 moisturizing eye cream. I know some people say you don't need eye cream. It's proven that you can just use moisturizer. That's just not the case for me personally, because whenever I throw on like any sort of moisturizer near my eye area, sometimes it's fine, but sometimes my eyes get red and irritated. Sometimes I have like some kind of weird adverse reaction. I don't know. My eye area is just so sensitive. So I do find that most of the time a separate eye cream does work for me. So if that's the case for you too, I think you'll like this product because the texture is so nice. It's incredibly moisturizing, but it's not overly thick. Some moisturizing eye creams are a little bit too heavy. So if I wear them in the morning and then I go to do my eye makeup just does not turn out well because I have this thick, heavy eye cream on. This one is nice because it's thinner, so it actually sinks into the skin, but it also feels just as hydrating as a thicker, heavier formula. This one is also specifically formulated to be used like under the eyes and then on the eyelids too. I've been enjoying it. I wouldn't say that it is, doing anything for like puffiness or if you have dark circles. I'm not sure that it really claims to brighten up the area, but if you're just looking for like a nice, gentle moisturizing formula, this has been really great. I also wanted to share a moisturizer I've really been loving. This one is from Glow Recipe. It is the Plum Plum Hyaluronic Cream. I love the texture of this moisturizer because it's a really nice gel cream. So it does sink in quickly, but it leaves your skin feeling and looking so good. Like incredibly moisturized, but also very, very glowy. This one has like a very soft, almost plum scent, but like, can you see the difference between my hands? There's nothing on this one, and my hands are so dry this time of the year, and this one has it. So you can see that it is really glowy, very pretty, but it's not just that it looks good, like it feels good on the skin. My skin is moisturized throughout the day, but it's not overly heavy. So I've been loving this one as my morning moisturizer. Sometimes I'll use it at night too, but I think it does a great job of leaving your skin feeling good and moisturized without it being too much. I think as we head into the winter, this will still be a great daily moisturizer, but I might want something a little more intense for nighttime. But if you have oily skin and you still want a glowy option, I think you'll like this, but I also think it's great for combo skin, for dry skin during the day. I've been really impressed by this. Like I've been using it super consistently and it's just great. The last thing I want to recommend is a hair product. I know I've talked about this a lot on my channel, but I cannot stop because I've been so impressed by this. I definitely want to try more from the brand. But this is the Dream Routine Overnight Hydration Treatment. I'm actually almost done with this bottle. I used mine up back in September and then I purchased this in September. It's almost the end of October. I feel like it will last me into November a little bit, but I love it. I use this so consistently. It is a leave-in treatment that they designed to be used overnight, but I just use mine in the morning after I wash my hair. You can use it on dry hair, but I find it's a little bit more effective on wet hair. So after I wash my hair, I just spread it all through kind of like here down, and I really focus it on the ends of my hair, and it just leaves my hair feeling so soft, so moisturized, and my hair as a whole just hasn't been as dry since I discovered this product. I've tried a lot of leave-in products, and I don't know, I always have like a little bit of an issue with them. Either they're too heavy or they don't work that well, or they weigh my hair down, or there's just like a big con as to why I don't end up using them like over and over. When I first got this, I was using it like maybe once a week, but I do wash my hair a little more often these days. Well, I wash my hair like every 2 to 3 days, mostly like every 2 days. But so I guess in the end, I end up using it like twice a week, and it works so well for me. I love this product. So I definitely want to try more from them. I have their dry shampoo in my cart, and I probably will pick up another product during the sale, but I love this. I highly recommend it. Okay, that's everything I wanted to talk about in today's video. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below if you have any top recommendations that I need to check out. And don't forget to check out Iris. I'll put a link in the description box below so you can download the app, and I'll make sure to share all of the giveaway information in the description box as well. So definitely enter to win a Sephora gift card. Thanks again to Iris for sponsoring today's video, and I will see you very soon with a new one. Bye.